Sometimes essential public services are taken for granted. When services such as winter highway maintenance are not sufficiently funded or staffed, there can be a costly, even tragic outcome. Workers in commercial goods don't make it to their destinations.
February 8, 1995, icy streets, roads, and highways make for gridlock across North Georgia.
Many drivers found themselves traveling sideways on the slick roads. This accident jammed traffic on Lenox Road for miles. And getting there, it was just as hard on the rest of us. A sheet of ice on I-285 caused several fender benders. No injuries in this one, though. And even as the sun began to rise, drivers were still slipping and sliding.
Most of the snowfall has tapered off, but yes, the avalanche problem is going to be a big deal for the next couple of days, and there's a couple of reasons for that. Basically, we wound up getting an entire season's worth of snowfall in just 5 days. And on top of that, we had some very strong gusty winds as well. And when you couple those two things together, you can wind up with snowfall amounts that can be on the order of about 30 inches per hour on some of those northwest-facing peaks. And that's where you get some of your real problems. And now things are starting to die down just a little bit with the storm settling down to the southeast. Probably the biggest news for us last night was the dramatic drop in temperature. We lost about 27 degrees in 1 hour, but we only wound up with about an inch of snow. But along with that major temperature drop, we had near blizzard conditions in metro Denver. Then as quick as it got here, it just kind of blew out of town.
As you can see in this video from Chopper 5, Pickens County is pretty well covered by the white stuff. But icy roads in Jackson County are to blame for a tractor-trailer accident last night. One person seriously hurt.
On that morning drive, the snow and ice was an inconvenience for thousands and a real danger for some. Our team coverage begins with Channel 5's Angelique Proctor, live from downtown Atlanta with the story of a bang-up morning commute. Angelique?
Well, Lisa, you're looking at normal ride home from work traffic right now in the downtown connector, but this morning the story was much different. The problem was this bridge right behind me here. It had a lot of icy patches on it, and because of that, Atlanta police decided to close it, shutting down the interstate southbound. The 7585 connector looked more like a parking lot this morning.
Evidently, they've got the road closed, and it's hard to believe that with this little amount of precipitation, that the only solution that we can come up with is to close a major artery in this town. It's terrible.
I don't know what to make of it. I don't see anything out here. I don't know what's going on.
Just to show you how bad things got, right now I'm walking on an interstate, folks. This is 7585 at the connector, and I'm the only one moving. The cars are standing still.
Emergency vehicles don't get through.
And an accident in DeKalb County left 9 cars stranded, including a police cruiser.
Buses carrying our children don't make it to schools.
32 Eastern Shore students were hospitalized yesterday after a tractor-trailer slid into their school bus. The packed bus was on its way to the Bennett Middle School in Salisbury when the truck hit them. Fire officials say they were prepared for such emergencies.
We have disaster drills each year which gear us towards mass casualty incidents such as this. Of course, you're never always prepared for it, but it did help in triaging patients and kind of keeping an accurate count of who was transported.
Most of the injuries were minor. Everyone was treated and released at local hospitals. Police say the truck, driven by 38-year-old Kenneth Rockhind of Owings Mills, slid on an icy patch. Charges are pending in this accident.
Property damage and injuries occur, resulting in increased health and automobile insurance.
In North Carolina, just south of the Virginia border on I-77, 6 people were seriously injured when some 20 vehicles collided in icy weather. Even closer to home, ice and accidents have been reported in Powhatan County along Route 60. And Chesterfield County reports several accidents.
Tonight, the Delaware Valley is dealing with a traffic mess out there as Mother Nature delivers some wet, icy, just plain miserable weather. The slick roads were to blame for at least one big pileup. All over the area, traffic moves slowly as drivers try to make it home safely. And as sleet and rain continue to come pouring down, the question is, when will it end?
But earlier, sleet and freezing rain created a real mess. A lot of slippery slush everywhere. Police say slippery roads triggered a 15-car pileup on 202 near Route 30 in West Whiteland Township. No injuries, but traffic was tied up for hours. Here's what caused all the trouble: sleet and freezing rain at about 6 o'clock. This is what it looked like on South Street. It left the side roads covered with icy slush, extremely slippery in spots.
Lives are tragically lost.
Rescue crews tried to reach a family trapped in their car in the Great Miami River, but they were too late. The entire family, 37-year-old David Hensley, his wife Sandra, and their 2 children, 13-year-old Alicia and 8-year-old Brian, were all killed. Hensley was driving on this stretch of Dayton-Oxford Road here in Carlisle just after 9 last night when he lost control on the slick roadway. His car then veered off the road, overturned, and tumbled down this riverbank, coming to rest upside down in the water.
It's been an especially bad day for MARTA bus drivers. They've been involved in several near misses all over Metro Atlanta. But by far the worst happened here in DeKalb County. A man named Suda Maljashi was trying to chase down a bus.
There was a bus traveling on Valley Brook. Looks like he was coming out of the apartments trying to flag the bus down. Apparently he slipped on the ice and rolled up under the bus.
Investigators say the bus wasn't speeding. It was just the ice.
And a winter storm is moving from the middle of the country toward the Atlantic coast. Snow, sleet, and freezing rain caused power outages and hundreds of accidents from the plains to the Carolinas. Several deaths have been reported, mostly as the result of auto accidents.
Very icy roads are being blamed for a tragedy on a highway downstate that has killed several members of a church basketball team. The accident happened along a deserted stretch of a road in the town of Tolano, 25 miles south of Champaign-Urbana. 6 of the victims were boys who played for Calvary Baptist Church in Urbana, a basketball team. Their van went out of control when it hit some ice. A bus then slammed into the van, setting off a fiery explosion.
Good highway winter maintenance is a proven risk management tool.
Fortunately, local public works professionals have icy road control down to a science. A Marquette University study presented recently in Minneapolis at a National Academy of Sciences symposium confirmed that highway de-icing is tremendously effective.
This line represents the cost of winter maintenance, and this line represents the accumulated benefits over time following the achievement of bare pavement. These are hours, these are dollars. De-icing paid for itself in approximately 25 minutes after bare pavement was achieved, and after that the benefits continue to accumulate.
Fighting ice and snow is a tough, demanding job. You've got to have a solid plan. St. Paul, Minnesota's Alan Shetka explains.
The keys for responding and to conditions and keeping the streets open in St. Paul I see are really threefold. Having the equipment and the personnel to respond, the resources, the chemicals, and also to use them effectively.
For more information on key components of a good highway winter maintenance program, please call the SALT Institute at 703-549-4648.